All right. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another SnowRunner video. This is Needs More Drums here with another episode of SnowRunner on Kola Peninsula. So today we're going to finish up the 10 situation challenge that we started in the last episode. I remember I said this was a two-part episode just because it took way longer than I expected, and I thought this would be a good one to kind of, go through and look at kind of some of the things that I do, how I tackle some of these trickier spots. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in, and let's get into it. Okay, so let's get started here on the final leg of our tense situation contract here, final leg of the journey. Yeah, we start where we left off here on some pretty treacherous terrain, trying to get to that other telephone pole over there. Excuse me. But yeah, I thought at first like going down the hill there might be a safer route, but it looked like it was gonna take way too long. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna go through this really rocky spot. Definitely not the best area to go. I mean, this whole contract has been kind of sketchy in terms of driving. And definitely not somewhere I would want to go for if I was making any kind of deliveries. So good thing it's just a scout challenge. And to be fair, this is a great scout vehicle. This thing is absolutely a beast in the snow, and is really doesn't really pose any problems getting stuck in the mud or the snow or anything like that. But I will say it's a little bit top heavy and kind of unstable. It's a little bit big for a scout vehicle. Kind of makes getting through some of these areas a little bit more difficult than they would be in like a smaller vehicle. So definitely something to keep in mind, if you're going through this map, or any map for that matter. But you're going to be going through like a lot of rocks or any kind of tight spots like this. Smaller scout vehicles are usually the way to go. I just kind of picked this one because it looked very fitting for the map, and it's something cool that I probably wouldn't use otherwise. And so far, like I said, I enjoy it, but every vehicle comes with its own set of challenges, and this one is definitely no exception. The bigger your scout vehicle is, the less difficult, or the more difficult it's going to be to get around. And case in point, I mean, I've flipped this thing over quite a few times already. Usually I don't flip my scout vehicles too much, except for that what was it, the the international scout, the one that you get really early on in the game. It's like the first scout vehicle you find besides the pickup truck when you're in the Michigan map, just starting out. And that one I flipped over tons of times just because it was a really sort of top heavy car, kind of small but just really tall. And I mean, you could turn that thing doing like 5 miles an hour and it would just roll over every time. So not the best first scout vehicle if you're just learning how to drive. But again, that autonomous winch is a lifesaver, and looking back on it, that map had like the easiest terrain ever compared to some of the stuff that's in this map. So can't really complain. I didn't use it too much though. That the international, I kind of was like, what, I'm just gonna buy something different. And I think I forgot what I got. I found like a different vehicle or something, or bought something else. But yeah, I didn't use it for very long. It was just not the best scout vehicle. Anyway, yeah, this spot super tough to get through. I just was not having a good time trying to get through these rocks, so I just backed. Tried a couple times. Then I'm like, you know what? Forget it, man. We're just gonna back up and try some speed and power. And sure enough, doesn't really work as I would like it to. So as you will see here in a minute. Here we go. Speed and power. We'll see what happens. Do I make it? Nah, probably not. Yeah, definitely not. There we go. Oh, yep, that happened again. So, time to bring our crane over here again and get myself unstuck, because there's just absolutely no way, like, these trees, I don't know what I was even thinking trying to waste my time with these. Like, these things are never very stable. They'll always just break. Sometimes you can get it to where, like, if you kind of tug on the winch a little bit, like, you know, just don't hold it down, but kind of like tap on it a little bit, it'll move your truck. But in this, with this thing being so big, and kind of one of the more heavier scout vehicles, it's just not gonna work. End up taking all these trees down, and then, you know, kind of stuck with no choice but to bring the other truck over. So yeah, it happens. What can you do? It's part of the fun of this game, I guess. Just suffering through some of this stuff. And there's strike 2, strike 3, and we're all out of winch points. So yeah, let's go and get our truck over here. And we're back. We made it. Look at that. Amazing. So it's always funny to me, you know, how you get stuck in these situations, flip your truck, and then you drive your other truck, like, you know, it takes me like, what, like 10 minutes to get it all the way over here, and then look at that, 2 seconds and I'm done. like, it just goes to show you, you know, take your time and don't flip over your vehicle in the first place, and then you want it to waste more time trying to recover it. So again, man, take your own advice. What are you doing? Goodness, not great at all. But yeah, I decided, you know, let me just keep this guy over here for now in case I need it again, because this terrain doesn't get much easier. But yeah, it's anyway, waste of time. But glad we're back on our feet, and so yeah, we'll switch back over to the other truck in a second here. But in the meantime, I think it is time for fun fact of the day. Have another little conversation here. So I thought I'd share maybe like my first one of the earlier video games that I was a real big fan of. You know, kind of one of the first old PC games that I really enjoyed. And it was Roller Coaster Tycoon, the original one, like from 19. Was it? I want to say it was like 1998. I could be wrong. It might have come out in like 2000, but either way, I was like 3 years old when that game came out. You know, it's so sad. So it feels like such a long time ago. I remember that old Atari game, man. It was just, yeah, you just had like Steam didn't exist. Had to go get the CD. I remember I found the CD. It was the deluxe edition. It had the base game plus 2 of the expansion packs, plus like some additional like replicas of what I think were like real life parks or something. And it was just so much fun. And to be honest, that game is still a lot of fun. I still have it. I remember I got the disc like years ago. It was like that disc I was talking about. I got it like $10 at Target. I was like, no wait, all the expansions on it and everything. Anyway, yeah, there's so much content in that game. I never actually beat the whole thing. I never beat all the parks, not even in the base game. And I keep saying like, man, one day I'm gonna it's impossible to do it in a day, but you know, one time I'm gonna go back and just yeah, right here, man. Amazing how it installed right here. I was so surprised. But again, luckily we're in a forest, got plenty of winch points, so one of those things where I'm like, yeah, whatever. We'll recover very, very easily as we do. But and then just keep on going here through these rocks. But anyway, yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon, great game, a lot of content. Takes kind of a while though to get through it. You know, one of those things about that is, you know, different to a lot of games now, is that there was never a time slider. So, you know, there's no setting to like fast forward time or anything. So, you know, if you're, a lot of times I ran into the issue of you know, you get like one objective, get like 500 people in their park or whatever. I'd beat it, you know, in the first year or two, and the scenario was like 3 years long, and then you're stuck just kind of waiting for the time to run out when you're already done with everything. You know, yeah, you can sit there and, you know, build more flower beds or more roller coasters or spend more money or whatever. But sometimes it was at a point where I was just like, all right, I just want to be done with this park, because you know, throughout the years, like, I'd switch computers or get a new computer, and then all my game data would be lost, so I'd kind of start over. or you know, I'd install it and everything would be gone and have to reinstall it or whatever. And you know, it's just like I got kind of sick of just like doing the same 5 parts over and over again. You can only play like, if you know the game, you can only play like Dynamite Dunes for so many times where you're like, all right, let's just get to some of the later ones. So it was one of those things where I was like, you know, I'm just gonna kind of go through these and just, you know, get it to a point where it's good and then move on, because I don't want to spend all this time on these parts that I've already played like a billion times. But anyway, yeah, really fun game nonetheless. And I will say though, it's funny, like the theme park genre is a lot like the city building genre, and that's you know, a rant for another time. But the theme park genre in particular, like with the games that have come out, you know, they had Roller Coaster Tycoon, had Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, which I actually didn't have, but I should have got because it looks pretty, you know, kind of like a better version of the original game. And then they came out with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, which I did have, and I had some of the expansion packs for that and everything. And you know, the problem was like Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. I mean, it's such a simple game. Thing runs on like a single core processor or something. I mean, it's almost so simple that a lot of computers now can't even, because sometimes, I shouldn't say can't, but have trouble like running some of the aspects of the game. And I know I was lucky enough to figure out some workarounds to it. I know I just looked up some stuff online about how to get it to work, and I've gotten it to work just fine. I remember my issue was that it wouldn't run in a, people couldn't get it to work in a full screen resolution, and I figured out how to do that. I forgot how I did, but I figured it out, and yeah, I got it to run my, you know, 1980 by 1020 or whatever monitor just fine, you know. And I don't have the Steam version or anything. It was just like the original CD. But yeah, but it was a simple game, but it was a fun game, and I think what made it fun is that, you know, you could be creative, but there wasn't like much complexity to it. And ooh, we gonna make it? Yes, look at that, amazing, absolutely amazing. Didn't flip over again. All right, anyway, yeah, it was simple, but it was you know, simple enough to where you can understand it, but still give you a little bit of a ability to, you know, kind of do what you want, create the park how you want. And I think that's really cool in a game. And that's one of the things, you know, I kind of love about this map too. It's one of those, just kind of get to go your own way, and worth of Fleetwood Mac, and great band by the way. And yeah, flip over if you want to, like right here. Man, what the heck? I don't know why I did that. Just drove up on that rock that I very easily could have avoided by just backing up and turning left, but nope, didn't do that. But yeah, this map is cool too. You know, you can kind of explore it however way you want. I know some of these pathways are pretty much just suggestions at this point, and sometimes it's, you know, I usually don't do this, but sometimes it's easier to go through the forest than actually follow the path that takes you through this like really steep ravine and kind of spots that are hard to get through. So yeah, I've noticed a lot just doing these scouting contracts that, you know, there's some really cool places in this map just that leave you a lot of room to just explore and just kind of figure out how to get from point A to point B however you want. And I think that's really fun, and I like games that are kind of like that, are a little more open-ended, just, you know, get in, learn the mechanics, and then just play. And Roller Coaster Tycoon was definitely one of those games where it was just, you know, here's your first park, simple objective, just bring people in, build whatever you want, you know, build your roller coasters however you want, do what you got to do. And granted, you know, there were like, you could look up online, there's like ways, and that'll, you know, foolproof ways to build the best roller coaster, quote unquote, like, I'm sure, and whatever. But, you know, it's like that for every game. Oh, it was the best way. But at the end of the day, like, you know, it's your imagination, it's your game. And I know it sounds kind of like a what do you call it here, this, you know, it might sound cheesy, but it's true though. You know, it's one of those things, like, you buy the game, it's fun, play it your way. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, there's no best way. Like, the best way is that you're having fun and you're enjoying what you're doing. And you know, it doesn't really matter what other people have figured out. I mean, that takes some of the fun away sometimes, is just doing what everybody else is doing, get to beat it, you know, it doesn't matter. But, you know, if you're interested in like Roller Coaster Tycoon, there's a newer game out called Parkitect, which is a great sort of like a reiteration of the original Roller Coaster Tycoon. I know, like I talked about, you know, I had Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and, you know, some other games have come out where they tried to be like what Roller Coaster Tycoon was, And man, just take a second for this view too, man. Look at that beautiful sunset coming up this hill. Just a beautiful looking game that we're playing right now. But anyway, yeah, a few games have come out that have tried to be what Roller Coaster Tycoon was, and you know, they just were kind of unsuccessful in that area. And so what's nice about Parkitect is that it sort of took what made Roller Coaster Tycoon great and just took those features and just made it better. Like the coaster building was a little bit more complex in a good way. Like it gave you a little bit more creative freedom, and but the rest of the elements of the game stayed the same. You know, it was still like basic build your shops, build your rides, bring people into the park. Money was easy to manage. You know, it was pretty much just every single thing from Roller Coaster Tycoon that made the game simple. They just took it and it made it better with better graphics, and it's, you know, the newer game came out in like 2016 or something. And yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and it's got multiplayer. You know, my brother and I will go on and play it, and you know, he'll build a roller coaster while I'm building something else, and you know, it's just a fun way to kind of like a lot of games like that don't really have a multiplayer kind of co-op aspect to it. So it was something that I thought that was really cool, and it makes for a lot of fun with a game like that. So again, would highly recommend it. It's on Steam. I think I got it on sale. It was on sale for like, you know, 25% off or something. It was like, why would I not buy this? Or it was like regular $40. I got it for like $11. And that was like way more than 25%, but you get the point, you know. Great game. But yeah, we are almost at our destination here, and I guess I'll take this opportunity to get off of my soapbox about Roller Coaster Tycoon. And I've still got a little bit to go, but it's a couple minutes, I think. But either way, thank you guys for watching these videos, you know, and as I said before, you know, I'm really just doing this for fun. Not expecting, you know, like millions of people to be like dying to watch SnowRunner. So it's, you know, and you know, I'm not trying to like make my life goal is to not be like a YouTube streamer or anything like that. But you know, it is cool to see, you know, if you guys are watching these videos and following the channel. It's always cool to, you know, kind of have a little bit of a following. Being in bands, you know, if I've been in a lot of bands, it's kind of the same way. It's always cool when you start seeing the same people show up at your shows. You know, it's like, man, you kind of gives a good feeling like you're doing something right. You know, you're doing something that people enjoy and want to come see, and you know, you're creating content that is actually interesting and cool and enjoyable. So yeah, thank you guys. Always feel free to like and subscribe, help the channel grow. It's still just, you know, super small, but you know, hopefully one day, you know, we'll get a little bit of a following. Maybe not a huge following, but a little bit of a following nonetheless. And I'm happy with that. You know, that's cool. Just a hobby for me. So you know, whatever. Well, I'll take what I can get. But yeah, again, thank you guys. It's really cool to see people actually watching these videos, and you know, even if it's just like 50, 100 people, at least somebody out there might learn something and be having a good time. And yeah, but we are just about there. You can see it coming up on the right here, and this is a little bit of a shorter episode for today, just finishing up this last challenge. So with that being said, I guess I'll just let you guys take in this beautiful sunset as we approach the end of the path here. And yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. We will be doing a couple more challenges, I think, and just kind of, you know, doing some more progression around the map. So yeah, until next time, peace out, and have some fun playing SnowRunner. See ya.